Well, good morning, everybody. It is October the 11th, 2024, and like many of you, I'm getting excited about this season in Quartzsite, Arizona. And today, I'm going to tell you about all the events that you can participate in, go to, watch, that are going to be happening in November, December, and January of this year. And let's start with November. And the first term that I want you to get used to is QIA, because a lot of things happen at the QIA. What's the QIA? It is the Quartzsite Improvement Association. They have a building in town that lots of events happen at. I highly suggest that you spend time there. And right here is the address where you can find it. Now, the first event is Market Day at QIA Crafts and Swap, and that is November 2nd. All right, November 2nd. And that is where inside and out, there are booths inside and outside of the building with crafts and vendors, and it's a wonderful place to meet people and to buy interesting things. And there's also a little cafeteria style restaurant there where the food's pretty good and very reasonably priced. And let's see, on the 5th of November, VFW Toy Drive begins. So contact the local VFW for information on that. Let's see, Ladies Luncheon, and it doesn't say where that is, but I'm going to bet it's the QIA. And on the 6th of November, Quartzsite Off-Road Arizona Sun Riders Meet and Greet in QIA. So if you're interested in off-roading around Quartzsite, many people are. When I say many people, I mean a ton of people. They're going to be meeting at the QIA on there's going to be a meet and greet at the QIA. Then on the same day, on the 6th, also at the QIA is the Quartzsite metal detectors. I think it's related to the business on Main Street, but I'm not entirely sure. There is a club that I join every year. It costs about $20, $21, $22, something like that. And if you join the club, they're not only activities that teach you how to use metal detector devices, but they also have claims all over the area where you can go on as a member of the club, you are allowed to go and hunt for gold on those claims. Also, the business, which I will put up here, sells both new and used metal detectors. You can go there with a small budget or a big budget, a couple $100 to a few $1,000, depending on the quality of the metal detector. And they're very knowledgeable in there. It's kind of a fun, active sport. I call it a sport. You're up walking around, you're exercising, it's fun. There's looks like a ceremony on the 7th at the High Jolly Cemetery. Just Google that. That's easy to find. It's right in town. Flags and Flowers. And at the VFW on the 11th, there's the Veterans Day celebration. So all of these things, I know I'm not given times. I don't have times on my list, but you have to contact like the VFW, contact the VFW, the QIA, contact the QIA, and I believe there's definitely going to be, there's a QIA website, I believe. Let me just make sure. QIA Quartzsite, and yeah, there's a website, QIA Quartzsite Improvement Association, and they're going to have all the details listed there. If you want the VFW, Google the VFW, and if they don't have a website, I think they do. If they don't, they'll have a phone number. You can call them. Then there's on the 13th, there's the QIA Pancake Supper, and that sounds good. I love pancakes, don't you? I think I might go to that. And then there's the Senior Center Craft Show and Yard Sale. So the senior center is, again, pretty easy to find. Quartzsite Senior Center. Put it in Google. It'll give you the address and everything. Now, GFWC Vitalant Blood Drive. And I have to confess, I don't know what the GFWC is, so I know that's not doing you a lot of good. I apologize. I should have looked at this in more detail ahead of time. Town Fall Festival Eagles Tribute on the 23rd. And that doesn't tell you a lot. What the heck does that mean? They're giving tribute to birds? No. This is going to be there's a concert, free concert to kick off the season in the park in Quartzsite, and Eagles Tribute will be a tribute band for the band the Eagles, and I know you all know the Eagles, right? And I go to that every year, so if you go to that, you'll see me there. And I would say, based on my experience, this year I'm going to bring an umbrella, and I'm going to sit way in the back so there's no one behind me. So I'm going to be far from the stage, but I'm not going to be baked by the sun like I have for the past 2 years. And the same day, Veterans Stand Down at QIA. And then on the 28th, the VFW's having a Thanksgiving dinner. And then at the QIA from the 30th to December 1st is Santa's Workshop Art and Craft Fair at the QIA. December, it says the 3rd Ladies Luncheon. I'm going to assume, again, that's the QIA, but check their website for that. And then another QIA Off-Road Arizona meet and greet at the QIA, and then the Quartzsite metal detectors at the QIA. So I guess they're having that both in the beginning of December and beginning of November. So let's see, on the 7th, Market Day at QIA Crafts, and I described what that's like. Pearl Harbor Day at the VFW on the 7th. And the 11th, another QIA pancake supper. And on the 13th, the La Paz Regional Hospital that's up in Parker, there's a health fair, and you'd want to get on La Paz Regional Hospital website, I think, to find out the details on that. VFW Wreaths Across America says that's at the cemetery. Again, contact VFW for that. The 14th, Quartzsite Christmas Light Parade, and that's always a lot of fun. And I'm sure the Chamber of Commerce will know and that is, they have a website and they have a little office there on Main Street you can stop by. Let's see. Hang on. Then they have listed the Quartzsite Brotherhood Motorcycle Club Toy Run. So don't know the details on that. Don't know how you can find that, but try Google. And again, I apologize that I don't have details on every one of these. Let's see, what else do we have? VFW Family Freedom Festival on the 21st, and the Senior Center Craft Show and Yard Sale, both on the 21st. And then on the 24th, the VFW Christmas Dinner, open to the public. You don't have to be a veteran to go there. You can go to Christmas dinner at the Christmas Eve. And on the 31st, New Year's Eve, there is a dance at the QIA. There's a dance at the QIA to ring in the new year, ring in 2025. And then that brings us to January, and a classic big event is the Tyson Wells Rock and Gem Show, is the 3rd through the 12th. And all through this, in Tyson Wells, which is on Kuhn Street, and this is a place where we're going to talk about the Big Tent Show, but the Big Tent is here. But I think more importantly for what I'm talking about now, the whole area is just covered with vendors intense. And it's, by the time we get to the beginning of January, it's kind of at its maximum. It's all the vendors are there. There's wonderful places. There's a great little pet shop right off the main road. There's also on the other side of the road, there's my favorite one. There's a kitchen supply place that has all kinds of kitchen gadgets and stuff, and I just love it. I go there many times a year, and I'll definitely be doing at least 1 or 2 videos on it when I get there. But there's every tools and all art things, and then further into there is the adult daycare center. It's called Beer Bellies. It's an outdoor place that they sell beer in, I think, wine. I've never seen anybody with wine. I've just seen beer. But they also have a little trailer that they sell like hamburgers and hot dogs out of that are really good. And they're all tables set up in front of the stage where there's almost every day this time of the year, like December and January, there's going to be live entertainment music. And it's a lot of fun. I spend a lot of time there. Even though I don't drink beer, I go for the hamburgers and the fellowship and the music. It's just a ton of fun. Let's see. Another ladies' luncheon on the 7th. Another QIA pancake supper. They have them every month. And this is on the 8th of January. And then another Quartzsite off-road Arizona Sunriders meet and greet on the 8th. Okay, then we have the start of the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, the RTR, people refer to it as. So if you hear people talking about the RTR, they're talking about the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous. And what's a rubber tramp? Well, a leather tramp is someone that wanders by foot, right? A rubber tramp is someone that wanders in a vehicle, the rubber, the tires. And it's a cute name for an organization that was created by kind of the father of modern nomads, Bob Wells. And he has a very famous website called Cheap RV Living. And there's an organization that he co-founded, or it was really his idea, called the Homes on Wheels Alliance. And you'll hear that referred to as HOWA, Homes on Wheels Alliance. It's a nonprofit. And they sponsor it's like a free convention for nomads in Quartzsite, in the park, in January. And there's all sorts of presenters and booths and people that give lessons on how to do things like solar and cooking and how to take care of basic needs when you're going to live on the road. And also like how to find a job, how to earn money on the road. So that starts with kind of a separate women's RTR, and that is for women only. And that's because the women that travel as nomads have needs that are really different from men. And I think it's worked really well with these women only. First few days are for them. And that is going to be from the 8th to the 10th. And then on the 11th, everyone's welcome, male, female, 11th through the 16th. And that is in the town park. And there's plenty of parking there. I've never had a problem parking. You drive in there, and when you get close enough, you have people directing you where to park. And it's always a short walk, and there's room for bigger rigs and stuff. And just don't worry. You can get in there. It doesn't cost anything. And there are food vendors there if you want to buy some food. There's plenty of toilet facilities, but bring your own chair, because the main stage, you're either going to sit on the ground or you're going to sit on a chair that you bring with you. So bring yourself a comfortable chair. And if it's going to be a warm day, do what I do. Sit in the back and have a little umbrella to keep, or a big hat or an umbrella to keep yourself cool. I will be there for sure. I never miss the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous. So on the 13th, we have an Elvis tribute at the VFW. And then there is the Powwow Gin and Mineral Show on, that is, I don't know much about that, but it's the 15th through the 19th. And then 17th through the 26th is the Tyson Wells Cell-O-Rama. And that actually, I'll correct myself, that's the peak of the tents and vendors there, where there are people like my good friend, Deborah Dickinson, will be selling her books and having meet the author stuff. I'm pretty sure she's going to be back this year. She's been there for the last 2 years. She sells a lot of books, takes pictures with a lot of people, and it's a lot of fun. Then we have the on the 18th, the Senior Center Craft Show and Yard Sale, and then the big event, the event that everybody talks about, from the 18th to the 22nd. It's called the Quartzsite Big Tent, aka Sports Vacation and RV Show. And when they say big tent, they're not friggin' kidding. It's a big tent. And days before that starts, you will see from the highway this huge tent that's multiple football fields long and like a football field wide. And then on top of that, it's surrounded on the outside by vendors and surrounded with brand new RVs that you can walk through and fantasize about owning. That's what I do. I walk through them and go, if I had $1 million, I'd buy this one. It's a lot of fun. Now, if you don't like big crowds, this maybe is not for you, especially in the opening days. It's very noisy. They're wall-to-wall people. People bring their dogs into there, and I just don't understand that. It's so hard on our little buddies. I would never bring Dottie to the Big Tent show. It's just, there are too many people. It's too loud. Now, you can go, and it's not so bad on the outside, on the perimeter, and there's lots of things to see on the perimeter. You can go through RVs and stuff, and it's not huge crowds. It's when you walk into the tent, the crowds are huge, and there are lots of doors in and out, so if you're a little nervous, go in a little bit, and when you get upset, leave and stick to the outside. So there's a way to experience a lot of it without having to go spend a lot of time inside in the big crowds. And it's not as loud outside. It's loud inside because of the tent walls and ceiling and everything. But it's one of my favorite things. And one thing that you can do there, if you're a nomad and you're looking for income, people that do seasonal hires, camp hosting, often Amazon will be there. Beet harvest people, if you know about the beet harvest, it's a way to earn a bunch of cash in a short period of time working on the beet harvest. You can sign up for jobs there. But if you want to do that, go early. Go on the first day. Because if you wait until the end, the good jobs are going to be taken. So go early. And at the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, they will, in particular, they end the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous the day before the big tent, because one of the things that they help people to do is to understand what these jobs are. For example, you're wondering, what is he talking about, beet harvest? Well, they'll explain that at the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous and what that job is, what it entails, about how much it pays, and how to get one of these jobs. So, that's kind of cool. And then we have Quartz Fest 2025 from the 22nd to the 26th. And confession, don't know what that is, but it sounds like fun. And then 27, SKP Geocache Rally. Unfortunately, I know what SKP is. That's shorthand for the Escapees. And the Escapees is a national club of RVers and nomads, and it's very inexpensive to join the Escapees on an annual basis. And I can go on and on about the Escapees. I've been a member for years, and I'm on a waiting list to join one of they have Escapee-owned what they call cooperative RV parks, and definitely in New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada. There's one here in Pahrump that I'm on the waiting list to get into, and you pay a basically upfront for a lifetime lease on a RV site that's yours until you die. And in Pahrump here, that's when it's $10,000 plus the depreciated cost of any improvements that have been done on the site, like upgrading the little casita, storage shed thing, unique landscaping, what prior owner put into it. They depreciate it. Let's say they spent $3,000, they depreciate it, and they say those improvements are worth $1,000. So instead of paying $10,000, you pay $11,000. And then all you pay is about $1,200 a year for a fee to the association and your utilities. That's it. And you've got a spot. You can stay there full time if you want. So I'm getting off into the weeds on that. That has nothing to do with the geocache rally. And I'm sure geocaching, if you don't know what that is, Google it. It's a lot of fun. And then on the 28th, there's a Rock Club Scholarship fundraiser. And then in the beginning of February, there's through the whole month is the Desert Gardens Rock and Gem and Mineral Show. Now, let me say something about rocks. And you hear a lot about rocks and gems, and they're big tents in that area that I talked about that have nothing but rocks and gems. And you might say, that seems pretty boring. Well, let me tell you, when you get to the big crystal things, it's impressive. It's like you see these things and you go, holy mackerel, I can't believe nature created these amazing things. So don't discount it. Check it out. So on the first market day at QIA, like they have every month, Tyson Wells, 1st through the 9th, Arts and Crafts Show, Ladies Luncheon on the 4th, and then the Quartzsite Off-Road and Metal Detectors have their usual thing every month on, it looks like, on the 5th and the 6th. 5th for the off-roaders, 6th for the metal detectors. And if you're a quilter, there's a quilt show on the 7th and 8th. Gold Treasure and Craft Show at the QIA, 7th through 9th. Let's see, QIA Pancake on the 12th, and the Cabaret Dinner Show, and that is on the 14th. So those are a sampling of most of the well-known events. And guys, that doesn't include the wonderful restaurants where you can get good meals and sing some karaoke and just all kinds of wonderful things. And they're in the area. There's always pop-up concerts and all kinds of things you can do. But I gave you a pretty darn long list of these things, and I hope you take advantage of many of them. If you do, you're going to see Travels with Dottie out there. Check out my playlist on Quartzsite. I have, I think, a couple hundred videos at least on Quartzsite, so check it out. And I will see you tomorrow.